Yo, 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 yo. Welcome into a little Sports 56 happy hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio, hanging out with Brian Dacus all day long, all day strong. And it is a thirsty Thursday. And man, people got their thirst on, talking about all these transfers from the transfer portal. Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin continue to dominate, and that's a good thing because we are talking with Evie Van Pelt today from the Rebel Walk. We'll be talking about Chris Beard's basketball team and how well they're playing. Keep playing well, Rebels. Tigers played them earlier. It's one of the 2 losses on the season. 3-point loss, no big deal. Rebels are playing great. We'll talk about a little Rebel. We'll talk about the transfer portal. We'll talk about the hype video from Lane Kiffin. We'll talk about the contract extension. We'll talk about Walter Nolan. We're going to talk all types of things. Well, heck, we're going to talk about the Peach Bowl. We're going to talk a lot of stuff. All Ole Miss, 12 o'clock, okay? So we're going to get all deep up in them Rebels at noon. 11:30.
I'm sorry, John, before you say that, I was talking to Dave. I didn't hear everything you had to say about Ole Miss. Did you mention the number 1 JUCO receiver that pulled up to his signing party yesterday?
Lamborghini?
In a Lamborghini?
Bro,
yeah.
I was actually going to save it, but no, it doesn't matter.
I'm sorry.
No. That's okay. Hey, you know me, I'm about to bust your brain open with a little bit of Memphis transfer portal recruiting situation because, again, I realized, like you said, some of the places you go haven't updated their stuff.
That's right.
So I was a lot more, I was like, damn, Tigers smoked it. But they did very well.
They did.
But we're going to get into that a minute ago. But yes, the number 1 JUCO wide receiver rolls up in a Lambo. That was awesome. And that was also, to me, crazy. Like, can you just rent a Lambo? Because I know he didn't get enough money to go buy a damn Lambo.
You certainly can rent Lambos, for sure. Was a...
like, where are you just renting a Lambo? Like, where was he? Was he in Oxford? Was he in his hometown?
I don't know. It's a good question. I know there...
I have so many questions about that.
There used to be a guy that played for the Showboats last year, and his side hustle outside of football was he rented out exotic cars. And I don't know if he did it here, if he did it somewhere else, but he would.
That's his side hustle?
He worked for someone that had like a bunch of like exotic cars, and so he would connect with people and he would rent it out to them, and he'd get like a cut of the pay or whatever, or commission of what he rented out, and so that was like his job when he wasn't playing football.
Well, I will say we're talking all things Ole Miss 12 o'clock. I'm fired up about that. I'm also very, very excited because you know what today is, don't you?
Thursday. Wow. Ooh.
Today is Thursday. It is Thursday. But you know who returns tonight to their home?
Oh, Ja.
Ja is back. You know what else happened, by the way, on this day?
On this day in history.
132 years ago.
The Revolutionary War, John.
No, man. No, dude. 132 years ago, bro. No, Dr. James Naismith on this day introduced basketball.
Huh. So that must have been a little bit after the Revolutionary War.
So 132 years later, Ja's making his home appearance tonight in the house against the Pacers. A lot of people talking about Tyler Halliburton, how he's passed Ja. Well, we already heard Ja's keeping receipts after the dead gun Pelicans. I expect him to come out and go banana sandwiches. It's kind of hard to play better than he did. I mean, he went 34, 6, and 8. My man hit the game-winning shot. By the way, that was surprising. I didn't know that was his first career game-winning shot at the final buzzer. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I didn't either. I was like, damn, it's only his first one. He's done so many damn things. But yeah, Ja and the Pacers tonight, 7 o'clock from FedEx Forum. Memphis currently a 2.5-point favorite. We're talking with Isaac Simpson today at 11:30. So we're going to get a little deep up in a little Grizness. We're also going to talk about them Tigers. Again, took care of Virginia on Tuesday. Dropped Clemson on Saturday, and the week before that on Sunday, yep, you know what they did? They slapped Texas in them 3 top 25 wins in a row. Their schedule is getting a little light now because we got Vanderbilt next. And, yeah, everything's looking good in Memphis right now with the Grizzlies and the Tigers. We're going to spend 11:30 to 12 talking all about that. We got some NFL notes because tonight it starts, baby. Saints at the Rams. And what I think is going to be this is one of the best NFL schedules. And it's because of where it all falls. Like, we got Thursday night football, Saints, Rams. Both teams got to have it, especially the Saints. They're trying to win the division. Rams are a 4-point favorite. They've been clicking on all cylinders on offense. The one thing the Saints aren't good at is offense. We're going to break this dead-gum game down at the very end of the show. And then also you have to remember, we have Saturday football. We got the Bengals and the Steelers, Bills and the Chargers. By the way, Steelers in a little controversy. George Pickens, former Georgia wide receiver, not hustling and blocking and then making an excuse saying, well, I didn't want to get rolled up on. I didn't want to get hurt. Not a good look. We'll talk about that a little bit later as well. Plus, you got the Bills and the Chargers on Saturday. And then you have a whole Sunday slate. And you know what Sunday is?
Christmas Eve, John.
Sunday is Christmas Eve. Like, dude, on Christmas Eve, man, do you know how barren sometimes Christmas Eve is on the sports landscape? Like, bro, I remember some of them Christmas Eves. Like, you got one little bowl game, like two teams.
Oh, yeah.
You have no clue.
That's right.
That's it. Well, no, we have we got a wall-to-wall football. I'm stoked about that. And then, of course, on Christmas Day, 3 games. And the best part about it is Christmas night, you got the Ravens and the 49ers. So excited about that one. So, yeah, the slate in the National Football League is ridiculous. Don't forget on NBA, Christmas Day, 5 games. Got 5 NBA games, 3 NFL games. Dadgummit, we only got, 2 more shows before we start heading up into this bad boy. So we're going to break down all kinds of NFL action, Tigers, Grizzlies, oh my. We got all kinds of stuff to get to, but I got to know because Bryant Dacus covers the Memphis Tigers, and I am kind of curious. I've been paying a little more attention, honestly. I'm very serious about Tiger basketball, and I really love me some Ole Miss football. So I've been kind of looking at that, and I've been keeping my eye on what's going on with Tiger football. But I thought they really hit a home run. I was seeing tweets going out there. I was looking at one little spot, and they're like, man, Memphis is killing it in the transfer portal. And it showed the number of people that they were bringing in, et cetera, et cetera. It's obviously not quantity, it's quality. But how is the quality, and where do they rank in the American?
I don't know how they rank in the American because we have so many recruiting services now that all do different things, and they all, I'll be honest, most of them are not very good. They don't update very well, and so it's kind of hard to keep track. If you look at 247, they rank 4th behind USF, and this is just high school rankings from yesterday. They rank 4th behind USF, Tulsa, East Carolina, and Memphis. Actually, it looks like this is recruits and transfers because 35, and Memphis had 35 yesterday, including transfers. So that's one spot ahead of Charlotte, who I think has done a pretty good job bringing in guys.
The Biff Poggi man.
I didn't know
Fighting Poggi.
I didn't think Tulsa would be that high. I didn't think East Carolina would be that high. USF has done a really, really good job. I think they lead all of Group of 5 in, according to 247. And their recruiting rankings in terms of Group of 5 teams. But if you go over to Rivals, I know yesterday Rivals had Memphis in terms of recruiting. I don't know where they had them. I'm trying to find it real quick. In terms of 64th in recruiting, which would be way higher than what 247 has them. And then in transfer portal, they had them at number 12. So I don't really understand the difference of how there's such a far difference. I'm guessing it's just rankings and stuff like that. But it really just depends on where you look.
Just depends on where you look. Well, there was also, like Dan Mullen was out there tweeting a little bit, kind of throwing some shots out there about how, Billy Napier's draft classes versus his draft classes and the fact that he went to 3 New Year's Day bowls and yada, yada, yada. That was flying there around there. But attached were a bunch of, transfer portal stats, and I noticed Memphis was one of those on there. And just if you look at since the inception of the transfer portal, the amount of players that they've actually got ranks all, it's top 10. I didn't realize that either. Did you?
I didn't know that, but no, Ryan Silverfield has done a really
Oh.
good job of bringing guys in, and I think me and Dave were just talking about it before he left. I think the big thing, and I think it was John, I think it was on your show maybe last week when we were talking about Mario Anderson committing to Memphis, and he signed yesterday, for the running back from South Carolina. And I think we were talking about it, and somebody texted in and said that, well, he's not going to get anywhere near 700 yards if he doesn't have, if Memphis doesn't do anything to the offensive line, because they lost like 4 of their top 6 offensive linemen already, and obviously that could, grow even more. And they did a really good job, I thought, yesterday. Brought in 3 JUCO offensive linemen, brought in an offensive lineman from Louisville, an offensive lineman from Marshall, another offensive lineman in there, maybe from UL Monroe. So, they brought in some guys that have experience at the collegiate level. Johnny, our producer in the afternoon, pointed out one of the offensive line commits from the JUCO ranks is from Northwest Mississippi Community College, and he said that there is a pretty good pipeline from Memphis or from Northwest Mississippi to Memphis. He pointed out Davian Carter, who just transferred from Memphis, landed at Texas Tech, was from Northwest. There's a couple other guys that have gone to Memphis from Northwest that have done a pretty good job on the offensive line. So I'm pretty happy with the class Ryan Silverfield brought in. Now, obviously, you've got to, everybody can tout a good recruiting class on December 20th, but let's see what they look like in the spring. Let's see what they look like in the fall.
Well, Lane Kiffin's been killing it. Again, we're going to talk with him at noon. But don't forget, we talked about all the National Football Leagues. Like, we got Saints, Rams tonight. We also have a bowl game, South Florida, Syracuse. Now, speaking of the transfer portal, of course, people are paying attention to their teams, the teams that they care about. In fact, I think people now care more about the transfer portal than actually the bowl games. But if you look at the bowl games and you're going to play the bowl games, you better be paying attention to the transfer portal. I mean, pay attention like it's going out of style, because tonight, South Florida and Syracuse, do y'all know who's playing quarterback?
For who? Syracuse? Or
South Florida or Syracuse. Both are starting tonight, true freshman quarterback.
Huh.
No, I'm sorry. Both are starting redshirt freshman quarterback. One of them, though, like Syracuse, is, it's not just a redshirt freshman quarterback who's replacing basically their stud. They also have an interim head coach. And I don't know that this Syracuse team, I have no idea what they're going to look like, and I didn't think they looked all that great. South Florida, on the other hand, they got to go with basically a new guy, and their quarterback, Byron Brown, threw for more than 3,000 yards this year. So
why isn't he playing? Is he hurt?
No, I have no idea why he's not. Oh, because he's in the transfer portal. He's bouncing.
I thought he didn't enter the transfer portal.
Well, he's not playing. I just know it says he's out.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, he's out. And I just don't. I mean, each side's going to start a freshman, and I have no idea how you would bet this game. Brown had 23 touchdowns this year, 3,078 yards, and he is not playing.
Interesting.
Why don't you Google and try to figure out why he's not playing? Because
I'm already on it, John.
Good. I was going to say, because you know who I talked to. Lee's who told me that he is out.
Interesting.
Kind of keep up with him. He's not going to be on the show tomorrow, but
right, but you're still getting your picks from him.
Yeah, of course. Also, a couple other things you would talk about the portal. Did you see that the Georgia State? Utah State's playing Georgia State in their bowl game, and I can't remember all these bowl games, so don't ask what the damn bowl game is. I can tell you that they're playing tomorrow. I'm telling you right now, Georgia State and them don't play tomorrow. When is that game?
Georgia Tech, you mean?
Did I say Georgia State?
You did. Georgia Tech.
Utah State. Do you know Utah State's played in Georgia State? I thought.
But it's not tomorrow.
When is that game?
I have no idea. Maybe Saturday. I don't know.
Well, anyway, that game is something that we've also been looking at, and you need to know this. They the Georgia State team.
That's on Saturday.
That's on Saturday. They've lost both their running backs, both their wide receivers, their starting tackle, And on the other hand, Utah State's only had one player from the entire team enter the transfer portal. So you know what you're going to get from Utah State. But Georgia State, you have no idea what you're going to get. That's why Utah State, I think, is favored. Both 6-6 teams. I'm leaning big on the Utah State. Georgia Tech, by the way, they haven't been to a bowl in 4 years. Don't you think they're going to be fired up to actually play in this bowl game?
Oh, for sure.
That's how I'm looking at this one. And I don't know, man. I just feel like Georgia Tech was actually a pretty good team. Plus, Central Florida, they just never been all that impressive in the postseason under Gus. So,
yeah, that's the game tomorrow night. UCF and Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I'm leaning pretty big on Georgia Tech. Don't you think? Who do you like?
I haven't looked at it, John. I'll be honest.
Oh, you aren't already getting ready to start gambling?
No.
Ooh, I am. I'm telling you, Georgia Tech. Give me the Jackets. Now, you also have Coastal Carolina, Grayson McCall. He's not there no more. Obviously, you know where he's gone. This is a game that I couldn't touch, but I still think both teams, even without Grayson McCall, are going to score like crazy because that's what they like to do. I like the over 51. So, just a few bowl games out there that we're going to check in and get all fired up about. So that's what we got. Now I got to bring up college basketball. Did you see what Duke did?
I did, John. I'm still trying to figure out Byron Brown. So if I've seemed quiet, it's because I'm trying
No,
to
you're fine. Keep looking, man. I hope you learned something.
I am learning nothing.
Oh, nothing's helped?
No. Nobody is saying anything about him being out tonight. But I trust Lee. I mean, I'm not saying I don't trust Lee, but it must not be out yet.
Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe. Well, I mean, that's what happened with Frank Harris the other day, so.
Maybe I'm quick draw on the quick draw.
Maybe you're breaking news, John.
Oh.
Breaking news about South Florida and Memphis.
But I got to bring up some men's basketball. You saw Duke take care of business last night. They've knocked off Oklahoma. They looked pretty sluggish throughout the first half, then finally turned it on. And then did you watch the Alabama game? So I gave you the Duke game, and then you had Alabama and Arizona. And let me tell you something. That was a fun basketball game. But, Mr. Dacus, you know how you said go under?
Yeah, it went under.
I pounded the under.
Good.
I was thinking about you, so I owe you a little something.
You're welcome.
But that Arizona team who looked terrible for the first half and just came in like the first. I mean, they were outscored 10-0 to start the second half, and it's like they put it into a second gear. And you talk about a team that can get up and down the court faster than anybody in the country.
Oh, yeah.
Holy hell. They went on like a 23-5 run against Alabama in a blink of an eye. And, I mean, it was just all 100% downhill, three dudes running, and they were getting to the rack, and they caused Alabama so much foul trouble. They fouled out both their bigs. It's the second time in consecutive games that both bigs got fouled out. But Arizona was putting it on when they are clicking on offense because they are not a good defensive team. But, damn, they can score.
Sure can.
And they play at a pace. Those dudes are like Arizona's in shape. Their bigs are in shape. When I see them going up and down that fast, I was so damn impressed last night with the Wildcats. I've had a few people telling me, "Oh, I'm telling you that this could be the best team in the country," and I'm like, "Nah, not sure." I watched that whole game, Bama in Arizona. When Arizona wants to put it on you, they can get up and down like nobody's business. And also, I appreciated the final 2 minutes of that game, the way Alabama knew they couldn't win. They didn't resort to a bunch of fouling and shooting free throws and giving the over when it wasn't deserved.
John, I went to Wolf River Brisket last night.
What is that? Is that a place to eat? I take it?
It's a restaurant.
Do you eat
correct.
brisket?
Very good guess, John. And so I'm sitting there, and a beautiful place. Anybody wants to go check it out, a little free pub for them. They got it all decorated inside for Christmas. They got Christmas lights everywhere and, like, ornaments. That's a beautiful place. But I'm sitting in there, and I was watching two basketball games, and both of them I may or may not have had money on. And both of them had players miss free throws down the stretch, speaking of free throws. And I was sitting there in the middle of a restaurant yelling, "You got to make your free throws." I mean, what are we doing here if we can't make free throws?
Yeah.
Basics.
They love you, I'm sure. They were probably excited about that.
I'm sure they were.
But, yeah, and then, of course, you had North Carolina take care of Oklahoma last night. Like I said, you had Duke take care of their business. The weird one was Seton Hall jumped on UConn's face. Did you see that?
Sure did, yeah.
Damn. Is that Richmond kid really good?
Yeah, no, they got some good players, and they've got a good coach. They've got the coach that was at St. Peter's a couple years ago when they beat Kentucky. He's now the coach at Seton Hall, and so he's starting to get them together.
And there was one good note last night for the Tigers. Nova actually beat Creighton.
They did in a game that Doug McDermott's jersey was retired at Creighton, which is
no way.
Weird to believe that it's taken this long to get his jersey retired. I mean, his dad's the head coach.
Dougie Fresh. Creighton, though, get knocked off by Villanova. But we're going to talk a whole lot of Tiger basketball. We got Ja coming back to the house tonight against the Pacers. 7 o'clock tip from the FedEx Forum. Good thing is we got Isaac Simpson to break it all down on the other side. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Experience the taste of Italy at Little Italy's newest location in East Memphis at Massey and Poplar. Little Italy has great Italian food with all your favorite dishes, from lasagna, rigatoni vodka, Alfredo, even lobster ravioli. Try Little Italy's very generous hot calzone, stuffed with your choice of meats and melted cheeses. East Memphis Little Italy wants to spoil you with a piece of Italy you can feel, taste, see, enjoy, and eat. East Memphis Little Italy, hidden in the back at the corner of Massey and Poplar.
Let's wait until spring to put our house on the market. This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Mark's Bensdorf Realtors, and I've heard that before. Yes, spring is beautiful. The azaleas are in bloom, and so are the real estate signs. More flowers mean more signs. To me, right now is the best time to go on the market. Yes, even during the holidays and the winter months, because the housing inventory is lower, and buyers just don't have the selection available that they would in February, March, and April. If you or someone you know is thinking of selling, talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers. Find out what they think about your house, but more importantly, what they will do for you. Make sure I'm one of the ones you call to find out about my highly successful strategic marketing program that can mean the difference in what you make and win. Remember what they say. When you want the job done, call the worst golfer in town. Call me, Sheldon Rosengarten, at 483-0546 or MemphisRelocate.com. That's MemphisRelocate.com or 483-0546, and go Tigers.
Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company, we have it all. From handmade Amish leather belts, fine and casual clothing, boots, casual boots, work boots, fancy boots, and even safety-toed boots. Lots of cowboy hats to choose from, even Nebo lights, good-looking duck head dress shirts, duck head caps, shorts, and pants. Tons of jeans from Ariat, Wrangler, Devil Dog, and Kimes Ranch jeans. At Hewlett & Dunn, we have a great selection of Old South t-shirts and caps. Fine clothing from dress to casual to Sunday best. Enjoy choosing from UFO's orthopedic-approved shoes. Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company. Boots of every size, every color, every skin. Great quality Western, work, and safety toe boots. Hewlett & Dunn Boots and Clothing Company. 111 North Center Street, Collierville. Hewlett & Dunn. Hewlett & Dunn, serving you and your family since 1961.
You ready to end the year with some money in your pocket? We got it covered at Gossett Mitsubishi's Mitsubishi Motors year-end sales event. Get to the Pike for the award-winning 2023 Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV. 420 total range MPGE, $299 a month. Get ready for your road trip in the 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. Buy for $27,000 or just $399 a month. And cool has never been cooler than in a 2024 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. We Gossett at $30,700 or $499 a month. And no worries with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So get to Gossett Mitsubishi today at 1870 Covington Pike. Gift wrapping available. You want it, we Gossett. Shop online anytime at MemphisMitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
HEV PZ06203 MSRP 44,355. Sport RU 001136 MSRP 28,000. Eclipse RZO 12051 MSRP 31,700. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
If you love sports and Mexican food, you can get the best of both at Los Cabos Mexican Bar and Grill on Summer near Graham. Watch all the big games on all the big TVs on all the walls at Los Cabos and enjoy premium tequila shots anytime for just $5.50. Celebrate every day with lunch specials from 10 to 3 and happy hour from 3 to 8. Lunch is just $6.75 to $10.99 and margaritas start at $3.99. Experience real Mexican cuisine along with great sports at Los Cabos on Summer near Graham.
Scott Graham here from Westwood One. Thursday night for Week 16 comes from Los Angeles when the Rams host the Saints. Derek Carr and New Orleans are in the playoff hunt thanks to back-to-back wins. Also at 7-7, Matthew Stafford and the Rams kept their postseason hopes alive with their own W last week. Spiro Dedes and Mike Golick will call the action on Thursday Night Football.
Right here on Sports 56.
As the weather gets colder, the NFL offers Stay Hot on FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. I like putting parlay bets together, hammering the overs, and anytime player touchdown bets always have me on the edge of my seat. So if you're ready to do the same, visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel.com/win. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $5 pregame money line wager required. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets. It expires 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call TN Redline 1-800-889-9789.
All the wisdom of the universe is in these bones.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. I got Brian Dacus with me, and I am fired up. It's a Thursday. I'm trying to wake up a little bit, though, because I stayed up really late watching Alabama, Arizona. After I got a big win, I couldn't go right to sleep. You know how it is. But I'm here. I'm ready. Ja's in Memphis. He's going to be on the court tonight when the Grizzlies and the Pacers tip at 7 o'clock from FedEx Forum. Tigers have been doing it well. Beating 3 top 25 teams in a row. A&M, SIA, Clemson, how you like me now. Virginia, whap. So we're going to talk with Isaac Simpson. You know, he covers the Grizzlies. He covers the Tigers. He's with Ethos Grizzlies. He's with TigerSportsReport.com. And he joins us now. What is up, Isaac?
What up? What up, John? I'm good. How are you?
Man, I know you got to be doing really well, man. I mean, we got Naquan Tomlin coming. The Tigers already look good, and we're about to add this dude. Are you kidding me? Feels really good. And then Ja making his return tonight, first game back in-house. But after his first game, a little 34-6-8, and the game winner. Like, it just feels really good. Like, I mean, I feel like the city's just kind of on a different level. Everybody's walking around a little taller, got a little bounce in their step. Life is good.
Yeah, man. Everybody walking with confidence. Everybody happy. Things are great in Hoop City right now, man. There's no question about that, man. And Ja Morant, man, the return of 12. Like, I didn't expect that. Like, I thought he would kind of ease into it. I mean, I thought he might have 16, 17 points or something like that. I didn't expect us to see full 12. Like, it was full call 12, man, late in that game. Grizzlies got down big, I think, 21 points, I want to say, in that game at one point. And they just came storming back, and you could just tell in that fourth quarter, man, Ja was just on another level, man. You could see him get to that level at times, and there's nothing that anybody can do about it. When he decides he's going to put his head down and put pressure on the rim like that, the defense just couldn't stop him, man. Herb Jones did everything he could do, man. He just couldn't get a hold of him, man. It's just big-time game winner, man. You couldn't script it any better than that. And I think one positive that you like that you saw out of that, we've always talked about the team, Jaren Jackson Jr. and Bane and all those guys not necessarily playing at a high level when Ja's there. Not necessarily not playing at a high level, but having big-time games, and they all three played really well in that game. And to have that happen on the first game back, man, I think you've got to be excited as a Grizz fan at what you saw, because don't make no mistake about it, man. It was tough watching those games, those first 25 games without Ja. You could see from the onset, man. It was a different energy from all the guys on the team, man. And Ja just picked them up on all levels, man. It was just a different team out there. Even when they were down, it was still much more exciting basketball to watch.
I was going to say, I think that's one of the most impressive part that, a lot of people aren't talking about. I mean, they only scored 41 points in the first half. 16 in that second quarter. The first half, it was an abject failure. It was like, ugh. You know what I mean? Like, you were like, damn, this is ugly. I mean, that's what it was. And then all of a sudden, second half came around, and it was a complete different team, and Ja was he just took over.
Yeah, like I said, man, once he starts to getting downhill, man, there's just not much a defense is going to be able to do to stop him. I mean, New Orleans did everything they could, man, to stop him, man. He just went off, especially that fourth quarter. Just time after time, man, just taking the ball from the top of the key, going straight to the basket, and he's finishing it and getting fouled. And like I said, man, when he gets in that mode, it's hard to stop. But it was ugly there in the second quarter. Like you said, I think he scored 14, 16 points there in the second quarter, and he was like, man, this doesn't look good, man. But I think you got to have a lot of hope with what you saw in that second half. And again, to have Jaren Jackson Jr. and Baines still have really good games, I think that's a positive, because if you have those three guys playing at that level, this team is going to be tough to beat. I mean, you see tonight they're playing the Indiana Pacers, 4-point favorite. I think I'm really excited about the matchup with Ja Morant and Tyrese Halliburton. Halliburton is kind of one of the guys that people have kind of, with Ja out, kind of forget.
Does he have a receipt for the Halliburton talk?
Yeah, he got he said after the game he's keeping receipts, and I'm sure he has one on what they said about Halliburton. So I'm sure he's chomping at the bit to get out there and go one-on-one with Tyrese.
Do you think it's fascinating? Total sidebar. I kind of found it fascinating yesterday when all the national shows were talking about Ja saying that he kept receipts and everything. Oh, you did this to yourself, et cetera, et cetera. I kind of looked at it different. I think this is more of a motivational thing, and this is what athletes do. They always try to find a slight to go out there and be self-motivated. While he was gone and away from the game he loved, you don't think he didn't read on X or listen to the national pundits pile on him constantly over and over and over again and say other people had passed him? Like, people are acting like, well, he shouldn't say things like that. I don't know. I don't know. I kind of chuckle at that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think they look at that the wrong way. When he says receipts, he's talking about the disrespect that people were saying. They put out all these lists saying Jalen Brunson was better than him now, Tyrese Halliburton. I think the NBA top 100, he was like in the 30s on there, which is just ridiculous. And I think if you're talking about people that read social media and read what's going on X, Ja Morant definitely does that. There's no question about it, man. He's big time on social media. He saw all this stuff, and I can't even imagine being a person as competitive as he is, because he's on that Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant level where
Tom Brady,
anything he can even create as a slight, he's going to use that for motivation, man. And you can tell, man, he had a lot pent up for that game against New Orleans, man. He was able to release all of that.
He was sucking some wind, though, I can tell you that. That's what I thought was kind of funny. He was over there sucking on some oxygen.
Yeah, he talked about that, man. He said he had to hit the inhaler a little bit during the game. Because you can practice all you want, because it's not like he's been home sitting on the couch. But as he said, man, getting out there and playing an NBA game is a lot different than you getting open run or out there in practice. You just can't simulate it.
No, I agree 100%. Well, I'm fired up. Everybody's fired up. I'm kind of curious. How do you think this Grizzlies team matches up to this Pacers team who's been playing pretty good basketball until of late, when they had, 151 points dropped on their face by the Clippers or something like that the other night?
Yeah, they can score, but their defense is terrible. So I think I feel really good about the Grizzlies' chance. Like I said, the Grizzlies are 4.5-point favorite, and that's definitely a Ja Morant effect. If Ja Morant wasn't in that lineup, I don't think the Grizzlies would be favored in this game. So that just tells you how much of an impact that he has. And I'm just excited to see this team grow together. I mean, you got some other pieces coming back. Looks like Marcus Smart's doubtful for tonight, so I don't expect him to play tonight, but I do expect that he'll probably be back on Saturday night in Atlanta. So you get him back. Luke Kennard looks like he's right around the corner. Even Brandon Clark, man, they're talking about he's looking at
some videos of him dunking, man. I saw a little video. Yeah, so like he's actually kind of working back.
Yeah, man. So you get the reinforcements back, and the vibes are just good right now. It's going to take a Herculean effort, no question, for them to even get to that 10th spot. But I think they're capable of doing it. I think you're probably going to have to get to 40, 41, 42 wins. And it's not going to be easy, but you have to in every 10-game stretch. You got to win 5 or 6 games. And they have a tough one coming up.
Did you say the 5th spot?
No, I said the 10th spot.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, damn.
It's not going to be easy for them to even get there because, like they said, they're like 6.5 out right now, and there's lots of teams you got to pass. But I think this team is going to start playing really good basketball. When you have 3 guys like John Morant, Desmond Bane, and Jaren Jackson Jr., you're going to win some basketball games. And like you said, Marcus Smart, I think early in the season he struggled, but I think that had more to do with him being put in a role that he's not comfortable in. They had him on the ball and playing kind of point guard. That's not really what he does. I think you're going to see completely different play from him playing next to John Morant and kind of being in that role where he can just go out there and defend and kind of do his thing, take shots when he gets them, but you don't have to have him kind of running the offense. And I think that's why he kind of struggled, and I think that's made him struggle overall, even on the defensive side. I think him being out of position like that, I think that affected this game. I think he's going to have a big impact as well coming back.
And if you talk about like the teams that right now are in the whole play-in tournament, you have the Pelicans, the Lakers, the Rockets, and the Suns still outside looking in, the Warriors, and, of course, your Memphis Grizzlies. It is a deep West.
No question about that. Who thought the Suns would be sitting here in the 10th spot right now at this point in the season? I mean, people thought they would be at the top of the West. So it's a gauntlet. There's no question about that, man. But I'm just hoping they can get back in this thing because, again, you hate to just have a total wasted season. But as long as you have those 3 guys, man, John Morant, especially Desmond Bane, those guys are dogs. They're not gonna just lay down. Those guys are definitely gonna make a push. And I'm excited, man. I'm just excited to look more like Grizzlies basketball because whatever that was the first 25 games, that wasn't it at all. And even, like I said, the second quarter was a struggle, but from the tip in that first quarter, you could just see a different energy for that team. They lost some of it in the second quarter, but the first, third, and fourth, man, that looked like Grizzlies basketball. So the more cohesion they get and having job back and getting everything together, man, I think they're going to be fine. It's just they have a deep hole, man, but I think they have an opportunity to dig themselves out of it.
All right, Isaac, you got to do me a favor. Tell everybody, if you're hearing this for the first time, where you been. He covers the Grizzlies. Where can they find you? I know you got over there at Eat Those Grizzlies. What y'all working on? What you got going on? How can they find you?
Yeah, man, definitely Eat Those Grizzlies. We'll definitely have a podcast dropping after tonight's game, hopefully discussing a big Grizzlies win, hopefully win number 8 on the season. Definitely check me out at TigerSportsReport.com and those Memphis Tigers and by our personal X Twitter feed at Isaac_NBA.
Shoot, we talking Tigers on the other side, Isaac, man.
Yes, sir.
We had to take us a quick break, though, because that was just the Grizzlies. That's just the tip. Wait for the other side. Don't touch the dial. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Sports 56 listeners are smart enough to listen to Sports 56 and smart enough to get 25% off at Oak Court Salon. Ashley Waddell and Lane Lascola are expert stylists at Oak Court, and because they listen to Sports 56 and you listen to Sports 56, Ashley and Lane are giving you 25% off your first appointment. That's for cuts, color, highlights, balayage, Brazilian blowouts, and split-end treatments. Book today and save 25% at sports56.glossgenius.com.
Welcome to The Rendezvous.
This is John Vergas. When my dad started The Rendezvous in 1948, I don't think anyone could have imagined we'd still be serving shoulder, cheese plates, and our world-famous dry rub ribs 75 years later. But we are still here in the basement, in an alley in downtown Memphis. We sincerely thank you for making The Rendezvous what it is today. Charlie Vergas Rendezvous. Schedule your holiday gift deliveries today at hogsfly.com.
A good friend of mine told me about this awesome place for lunch.
Oh, yeah? What's the name?
Neil's Grill and Bar, where the fat man rocks. Everybody knows Neil.
Where's it located?
It's located in Yorkshire Square off of Quince.
And what's it like?
The best lunch place in Memphis. You know, like real mashed potatoes and gravy. Everything is made from scratch. Monday through Friday, daily lunch specials like Monday baked chicken, Italian Tuesday, spaghetti, ravioli, Italian spinach, delicious fried catfish, fried chicken livers every Wednesday, Friday, Salisbury steak, barbecue chicken, or if you just want a vegetable plate, the best veggies in town.
What about the lunch price?
Meat and 2 veggies, $8.95. Meat and 3 veggies, $10.95. And veggie plate, $9.95. Big fat boy portions, man.
Man, you're making me hungry.
Come hear the best live local music at Neil's. Eddie Smith plays Sundays 5 to 9, Mondays karaoke, Tuesdays Debbie Jameson, Wednesdays Elmo and the Shades, Thursdays John Williams and the A440 Band at Neil's.
Where the fat man rocks.
We all appreciate luxury. We love the newest technology. We want something that sparkles and looks great. Well, I've got it all in one place. It's called Genesis of Olive Branch, right at the corner of Highway 78, that's Lamar, and the first exit in Mississippi, that's Craft Road. Turn left and you will see Genesis of Olive Branch. And right now, you can get the 2024 Genesis GV70 starting at $49,480 with special financing as low as 3.49% on select models. How about the 2024 Genesis GV80? A little bit bigger, starting at $55,995, financing as low as 5.49% with a $2,000 rebate when trading a luxury brand. Call them. They'll even bring you a Genesis at your work or your home for a test drive. They're convinced that when you drive a Genesis, you're going to want one. Call 662-890-6684. Ask for Vinny. Genesis of Olive Branch. The season has changed. You know how I know? It's finally here, the Family Leisure Christmas Sale. Excellent deals on pool tables, shuffleboards, and saunas. Oh, we're just beginning. Tired and sore from shopping? Check out the huge selection in stock of hot tubs and massage chairs. Oh, and you can surprise the kids with the best stuff, like a new arcade, a game table, even a play gym. Gifts for the whole family to enjoy and enjoy together. Also on sale, theater seating, outdoor kitchens and grills, patio furniture, and fire pits. Merry Christmas from our family to yours. That's Family Leisure of Memphis. Every year we wait. They always deliver. They've done it again. The Family Leisure Christmas Sale is happening at I-40 and Whitten Road. That's 2120 Whitten Road to be exact. That's the place of shopping heaven. Family Leisure, where family and fun all come together.
Make the season extraordinary when you shop the spectacular holiday collection at Sissy's Log Cabin. From engagement rings to designer jewelry, you'll save on gifts everyone will love, all while enjoying the Sissy's promise of unmatched service and experience at any of our 6 locations or online at sissyslogcabin.com. Embrace the magic of the season, only at Sissy's Log Cabin, official jeweler of the Memphis Grizzlies and the Memphis Tigers, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio, hanging out with Brian Dacus and Isaac Simpson. We talk Grizzlies, and we got Ja Morant coming back to the house tonight. Grizzlies and the Pacers. But now it's time to talk about our Memphis Tigers. They play on Saturday against Vanderbilt at the house, 3 o'clock. The game's also on CBS if you can't make it downtown. Tigers 9-2 on the season. They have won 3 straight games against top 25 teams on the road against A&M. How you like me now against Clemson at the house on Saturday, and then Tuesday they drop Virginia like a bad habit. Isaac, this team, like that 3-game stretch, I mean, if you're not fired up about Tiger basketball, then you just don't like them.
Yeah, man, you got to be fired up in the city about this team right now. As Penny said in the post-game presser, he feels like this team is capable of doing something special. And I definitely agree. I mean, you look at that resume, there can't be any more than a couple teams in the country that have a better resume than what they put together right now. I mean, to be able to knock off 3 top 25 teams in a row. I mean, coming into the season, you're looking at that schedule, you thinking if you could probably win 3 or 4 of those games, you're probably in good shape. And they, outside of Ole Miss and Villanova, man, they would run the table on those games. And I think going forward, now it's going to be about focus. You're going to be pretty much favored in every game that you have left, maybe except that finale at FAU. Outside of that, you're going to be favored in every game you have left. But it's not going to be easy because every time you go on the road against these teams at AAC, it's going to be like their Super Bowl. I mean, they're going to be fired up, ready, got a ranked team in there. The building's going to be packed. Those teams are going to be playing like their life depends on it. But if Penny has this team focused and they go out there and take care of business night in, night out, and stay locked in, we could see something special that we haven't seen since the Calipari CUSA days. I think they could really run through this conference because I'm saying they're just on a completely different level than any of these other teams. FAU's good. I'm not gonna discredit them. They have some good wins. They do have a loss on the home floor to Bryant, but I think Memphis is better than that team. They came into the season, FAU had the better odds, and you kind of look at how that game went last year. If Memphis wins that game, I think you were talking about Memphis starting the season in the top 10 just like FAU did, and it would have been the opposite. I think FAU is kind of living off of how that went last season. I think Memphis is the better team, and I think they're going to prove that out throughout conference play. But, man, and you talk about how good this team is already, and you're adding a guy like Naquan Tomlin. And as I said on here last week,
that's basically the only spot, though. Like, even going into the Clemson game, especially the Clemson game, I was even more worried about, and the Virginia game. I wasn't worried about the guard play, the forwards. I was worried about the production we were going to get out of our center position. Nick Jourdain has filled in, played out of position, unbelievable. But Malcolm's done a great job. He is still handsy, but he was great against Virginia about keeping his hands basically to himself and not getting in foul trouble. But with that being the weakness, that was the glaring weakness, and you got Naquan Tomlin coming in, who I feel like elevates that position to an extreme level. I mean, how much better can this make this? I mean, how much better does he make this Tiger team?
Man, I don't even think it can be stated what it means to add a player of his caliber, like 11 games into the season. Especially when you talk about, like you said, this was the biggest question mark going into this season, and had the situation with Jordan Brown. According to Penny, he's still sick, so but he's still part of the program as of right now. So who knows what's going on there? It doesn't really make any sense for him to leave though, because he doesn't have any eligibility. So I'm just thinking, I don't think this is going to be the case, but just think if he did come back, they would probably have at that point the best big rotation in the country. Just the depth they'd have there. You wouldn't have to worry about fouls, anything like that. But as far as that and Tomlin, man, again, it's not quite, I don't think he's the playmaker necessarily that DeAndre Williams was, but everything else. I mean, he's 6'10". You don't have to run any plays for him. He can play, could probably even play some threes, some big lineups. He's that athletic, can put pressure on the rim. You don't have to run plays for him. He can, a lot of those offensive rebounds that they had been giving up in some of those games, he's going to clean a lot of that up. You don't have to worry about that anymore. I mean, he can even step out and knock down some threes. I think he knocked down 8 threes in the NCAA tournament at Kansas State last year. I mean, he's just a big-time addition for this team, and this team is already really good, and I just think he takes it to another level. Again, you've got to be excited if you're a Tigers fan. This team, I feel like this is a top 10 team already. They're ranked down at 23rd, but I think that's criminally underrated for their resume. I feel like talent-wise and what they put on film, I think this is a top 10 team. And you add a piece like that, man, the sky's the limit for this team. And we know Penny's teams tend to get better as the year goes on, so that has to be scary for people looking at this team right now.
And something else that I think is a little bit scary, their three-point shooting has not been good, and this is a team that's got three-point shooters on it, and especially Jaquan Walton. That's now 3 straight games. Yeah. He was 0 against A&M. He was 0 against Clemson. He was 0 Tuesday night against Virginia. He's still shooting it. His role has changed. He's accepting it. He's playing great defense. I mean, he's doing a great job. But once he can get his shot back, and I'm kind of curious, is this just something like you think mental with him right now? I mean, he's still pulling the trigger. We've seen a few go down and out. It's not like he's airballing them or anything. It's just not falling for Jaquan.
Yeah, man, and coming into the season, when I kind of looked at this roster, I felt like Jaquan, it was possible that he could be the best player on this team.
Mm-hmm.
I knew David Jones would be right there with him, and David Jones is just something to talk about him. I mean, All-American. I don't think there's any question. I watched him last year at St. John's, and he was a good player, and I knew he was going to be good and have a significant impact coming in here, but I didn't expect this. Like, if you're having a conversation about the best college basketball players in the country right now, he has to be in that conversation. I don't think there's any question about it. I mean, he can just get his shot at any time. He makes tough shots. He's an absolute dog. He's talking, but he goes out there and backs it up, which I never have a problem when guys back it up when they're talking. I mean, he's just tremendous and been fantastic for this team. But Walton, I don't know what it is for him because he's definitely a lot more talented than what he's shown. It just seems like ever since that Ole Miss game where he kind of got banged up there a little bit, he just hasn't been the same.
Ever since he got hit in the head, like it's been weird. He's just not making his 3-pointers, and especially like how it's just been the last 3 games, especially. I mean, my man is he's 0 for 11 in his last 11 3-point attempts over a 3-game span. He's just, I mean, that's just hard to see. But the thing that's crazy is the Tigers are still winning these games.
Yeah, that's what's so impressive about it. They are still able to play at a high level without him because
beat Clemson shooting 15% from 3-point line.
Yeah, and the team overall hasn't been shooting it well. They shot it well early in the season, but they've been struggling overall from 3. So you think there's definitely some, especially when you get to conference play. I think Jaquan's going to come around. And that's, like I said, you're not even getting the best out of him, and you're still beating these ranked teams. I think you got to feel pretty good about that. And again, so I think you got some growth there for his ceiling. You also had Naquan Tomlin. I don't think this team's going to continue to shoot the way they have lately, and their rebounding, even without Tomlin, has improved. Because I think they actually won the rebounding battle against Clemson, which both of us, I think anybody that watched this team with P.J. Hall and those guys coming in here, you had to be extremely concerned about offensive rebounds and second chance points. And they gave up some. And anybody going up against P.J. Hall, I mean, he's one of the best players in the country. Anybody's going to give up some offensive rebounds to him. But I think they did a good enough job, man, to go out and win that game. So I feel better about their rebound as well. And adding Tomlin is just going to help that cause.
What do you think about what's going on with Jalen Young? I think it's kind of interesting, especially the last 2 games. He's playing about 17, 18 minutes in the second half, and he's playing in some big spots. Not just now spelling Javon Quinterly, but they had him a couple times together on the court. Feels like Penny's getting a little more confident in Jalen Young. Now, it's a dude who I don't want him taking a lot of shots. He ain't taking a lot of shots. He did have a nice little dunk on, against Clemson the other night, but he did airball the 3-pointer that he took. I mean, he's not a 3-point shooter by any means. What do you think about Jalen Young and his emergence and getting more playing time?
Yeah, I was a big fan of his coming in. I like him a lot. I think his biggest potential is on the defensive end. He's not a shooter. I mean, that could actually obviously improve. Outside the shoot, I think he's going to be a player that's going to be here long term, and I could see him kind of developing kind of the same way you saw Jeremiah Martin once upon a time kind of develop. He wasn't a great shooter coming in, and by the time his senior year, man, he was an offensive monster. I think he has scoring ability. He's definitely big-time athlete. I mean, you saw that steal and dunk that he got. He can definitely get off the dish and get out there and punch it down. So I'm a big fan of his. I think he's a dog on the defense. He has that mentality, that winner's mentality. He's going to go out there and give you 110%. Like I said, man, you just don't want him to shoot a lot of shots right now. We don't need any airball threes, man, but as long as he kind of stays in his lane, stays in his role for right now, I think he could really help this team off the bench. Because, again, he comes in, he guards. There's no question about that, man. He's going to give you 110% on that end. And you need guys to kind of fill that role. You don't need everybody to go out and shoot. I get the guys. You got Caleb Mills coming off that bench to provide offense, and he's been really good as well. We haven't even mentioned him. So this team is just loaded, man, the depth. I love what Jourdain brings. You just have a lot of pieces. Malco is, man, he's out there switching late in that game against Clemson out front, just making plays, knocking the ball loose, getting down on the floor for loose balls. And Penny said to this team, you get this a lot from coaches. A lot of times it's just coach speak where they'll say, well, this team, they all believe in each other. There's no egos. And a lot of times people say that. It is not really true. But what we've seen from this team looks like that's actually the case. Caleb Mills asked to come off the bench. Daquan Walton has kind of had his role go back and forth. He doesn't seem to be pouting or upset about anything that's going on right now, even though he's struggling. So that seems real with this team. And again, you had a big-time piece with Naquan Tomlin, and they're about to go into a stretch where you're going to be favored by double digits in pretty much every game you play. So, man, things are really looking up for this team, and I think they could put themselves in a position to really, man, get a 2, 3, 4, 5 seed. I think that's got to be where you're looking right now. Anything below that, I think at this point, would be a disappointment.
Man, Isaac, I'm telling you, I'm so fired up. Saturday, you got Vanderbilt coming to town. They should be favored in every game except for maybe FAU. Life looks good for the Tigers. Tell everybody where they can find your work.
Yeah, man. One thing, man, focus. That's going to be the key word for the Tigers going into these games. Because again, they're going to be big favorites, but everybody's going to be gunning for them, man. But if they stay locked in and focused, man, they can really put themselves in a good position. But you could find our work on the Grizzlies at Ethos Grizzlies. Go over there, give us a like and a follow. We definitely appreciate that. Work on the Tigers, TigerSportsReport.com, and on Twitter/X, Isaac_NBA.
Man, be blessed. Merry Christmas. We'll do it again soon, my friend.
Yeah, man. I'll be happy holidays, man. I'll talk to you next week.
That is my buddy, Isaac Simpson. We're going to take a quick time out. We'll be back in 2 shakes because it's time to talk about the Rebels with Evie Van Pelt from the Rebel Walk. It's all on the other side. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Is in my head.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
How's the Christmas shopping going? Yeah, that's what I thought. But Frontier Western Store will make it a lot easier. Everyone loves something from Frontier. They have thousands of coats, shirts, and boots. Outfit the entire family today. Looking for a Carhartt beanie? Frontier has every color they make. You'll find a whole wagon full of beanies. You'll also run into the largest selection anywhere of in-stock Carhartt and Ariat jackets and coats. They have endless aisles, an astounding collection at amazing prices. Don't forget the boots, work boots, and dress boots from Rocky, Dan Post, and especially Ariat. Frontier is the place to shop for name brand boots at the lowest prices every day. Way lower than chain stores and online. Thousands of boots in all sizes for men, women, and children. Not sure what to get? Frontier gift cards are always the right size, color, and price. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, or shop online 24/7 at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
It's our season of giving back at Gossett Kia on the Pike, and we've got the perfect holiday gift for you. Hit the road with 41 MPG Highway, 2023 Kia Forte LXS, $239 a month, $27.99 due at signing. Get road-ready SUVs, Seat 7, 2023 Kia Sorento LX, $319 a month, $34.99 due at signing. And 8-passenger seating in your new 2024 Kia Telluride LX, $459 a month, $34.99 due at signing, all 36-month lease. Plus, you'll get peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Ask for Bobby J. He's ready to put you in a new Kia today. Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition P Forte RE 699,094 MSRP 21,385 Sorrento PG 242,710 MSRP 33,010 Telluride RG 462 2822 MSRP 38,705 includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 1/2/2024. Dealer stock only.
The Crazy Coop, America's premier wing destination, has 27 delicious flavors to choose from and counting. Like the Buffalo Ranch, a perfect combo of ranch seasoning with a little kick. Mango Habanero, sweet taste of mango followed by the heat. Or sweet maple bourbon, the taste will remind you of chicken and waffles. And that's just 3 of the amazing 27 chicken wing seasonings that you can get at the Crazy Coop in Bartlett at 7199 Stage Road, and now open the Crazy Coop Express at 1315 Ridgeway off Poplar. Some like it hot. How about the Crazy Sweet Lemon Pepper Hot or Crazy Suicide? Can't take the heat? Get the 4 Cheese roasted garlic or barbecue bacon bourbon. Ask about the $9.99 lunch special. Now those are some crazy good prices. The Crazy Coop, 2 locations, 7199 Highway 64 between Applin and Kirby Whitten, and 1315 Ridgeway off Poplar. Family owned and operated, The Crazy Coop, America's premier wing destination.
Moving is stressful, but Black Tie Moving can take the worry out of the process. Whether you're moving across town or across country, moving your home or your office, your personal moving concierge from Black Tie Moving will work with you to design a plan that perfectly fits your budget and needs. And they're available 24/7 to answer any questions you have. Give Black Tie Moving a call at 901-316-6196 or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis to get your personal, no obligation quote from the moving experts at Black Tie Moving.
Looking for your next car? Give Car Corner a try. Car Corner, located at 2653 Mount Moriah. They specialize in cars under $15,000. Bad credit? No problem at Car Corner. CarCornerMemphis.com. That's CarCornerMemphis.com. They even have cash cars under $7,000. That's Car Corner at 2653 Mount Moriah. CarCornerMemphis.com. Look for the building with the teal green roof.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253 DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
4.9-liter V8, 0 to 60, and I'm about to find out.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio, hanging out with Brian Dacus. It's a Thirsty Thursday. It's always brought to you by the wonderful people over at Tito's. It's the holiday season. Man, you're going to see your friends, your families, your loved ones. Make things festive. Make sure you have the best spirit, and that's Tito's Handmade Vodka. It's good old US of A vodka. It's crafted and distilled down in Austin, Texas. It's also 6 times distilled and distilled in classic copper pots. Very unique flavor, slightly sweet with a black pepper note. It balances everything out. Doesn't matter if you're crafting a cocktail or drinking it neat. Make sure you get your Tito's on this holiday season. Evie Van Pelt works over at the Rebel Walk. And as much as they've been pumping out, I'm wondering, who you think's working harder right now? All those writers and reporters over at the Rebel Walk or Santa's elves? Because
definitely the Rebel Walk. I mean, it was National Signing Day yesterday.
Dude.
It's a lot going on. Basketball's undefeated.
Undefeated top 25. You got the Peach Bowl. My goodness, it's been crazy. Hey, Evie, how are you, dear?
Doing great. I thought you were going to say who's been working harder, us or Lane Kiffin and his recruiting staff.
Oh, good question.
That's actually, yes, he's been tearing it up. And by the way, I just got to start with one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life. Or it was, I don't know, not if it's not funny, maybe it's just like I'm jealous and it's the pimpest thing I've ever seen. The wide receiver, and his name is, I cannot remember his name, pulls up
Deion Smith.
Thank you. And he's the number 1 JUCO wide receiver in the portal. He pulled up in a Lambo.
Yes, he did. He looked very sharp. He and his Lambo looked very sharp, and he pulled up. That was to sign his letter of intent to go to Ole Miss. So, yeah, that got quite a lot of attention, and some more attention I just saw a little while ago. The Rebels also signed Noreel White, a 4-star wide receiver, and there was some talk, was he going to go to Arkansas? Was he going to go to Ole Miss? And he tweeted a little while ago, because they're putting billboards up, apparently, of the commits, and he tweeted he wanted his put up in Starkville. So I thought that was pretty funny. So I think that kid, he's already getting some fans. Anyway, he's from Ocean Springs, Mississippi, and so yeah.
I will say, I was listening to, I was having fun yesterday. You get on your little X and look at all the the back and forth. Tennessee and Ole Miss fan kind of got a little tiffy yesterday. I was having fun with that. They're like, if Ole Miss wants to overpay for players, we just choose not to overpay. And it just got comical and it's fun. But on the reality, not just the fun side, how impressive is this new recruiting class?
Oh, my gosh, John. I just don't even know what to say other than, I've talked about in the past that I feel like Lane is so good at going out and identifying the areas of need and on a team and then going and filling it. But this season, my goodness, I think, we've all felt like maybe, how many times have you and I talked about how on the defense, need the defensive line, need to shore up the defensive line. And man, did he do that. And with the players that they signed yesterday, the 4 and 5 star defensive linemen, they, got 5 of the top 10 players in the state of Mississippi, and then much less in the portal. And, I do know Tennessee fans are a little bit salty.
Yes,
but
I
think,
noticed. I noticed.
And, it's not just that they've, and in the portal, my goodness, I think of the 10 players they have in the portal, from the portal right now, 8 of them are defensive players. And most of them have SEC experience, big Power 5, much less SEC experience. And that's interesting also. It's not like we just went out and got a guy who, he's going to be a project or, something like that. So really, really excited about how well they did. And I thought Kiffin had some really interesting comments yesterday in his signing day press conference. He talked about, the defense and kind of remaking the team and how it really hit him, after that Georgia game. Georgia, he didn't say this, but basically Georgia had dudes out there. And so I thought that was interesting. And so they really went after it in the portal.
I like how honest he was about that yesterday because that's exactly where I was going to go. Just about basically, he's like, after that Georgia game, I came to a realization that things gotta, I gotta beef it up. And Pete's been beefing it up, you could say.
Pete is the top beefer right now, I guess you could say, because he's really, the work that he has come in and done. And I think that, again, these aren't any just, kids that you think will be a project. They really and truly, from the players they signed yesterday, you got Kamarion Franklin, a 5-star defensive lineman, an early enrollee. Jeffrey Rush, 4-star defensive lineman, early enrollee. Cameron Beavers, 4-star defensive lineman. William Eccles, 4-star. He's going to be a defensive lineman in college, early enrollee. So that was another thing.
I thought he was going to go with Alabama or Auburn, it felt like, for a while. And then, of course, Ole Miss gets him.
Yeah, and I think they were coming hard after him. And, I thought it was funny. You probably saw Hugh Freeze's press conference where he said, at the last minute, the last night before, that so many, that's the way it goes in the SEC, people contacting kids. And, I guess maybe indicating they don't do that there at Auburn, but I feel sure that they do that at Auburn. So Ole Miss had to withstand a few also. And, we put out something yesterday. Kiffin, they went 21 for 21 on signing day with their verbal commits actually converting into signees. Yeah, and that's a big deal in this day and age, especially, used to be maybe bagmen could slide in there at the last minute, but, now it's open and above board NIL, and I think 21 for 21 is pretty darn good.
Well, Pete Golding, by the way, like his picture, that funny little picture. He looks like he's a little young fraternity boy. They got a Pete Golding portal burner. They got more Pete Golding burner accounts right now, and they're gaining huge traction. I saw one the other day that had like 700,000 people have joined. It's like the Pete. It's a parody of Pete Golding, but it's hilarious. He is somebody that I think a lot of people, when Lane brought him in from Alabama last year, I heard a lot of people saying around the country, he had to leave Alabama. They didn't want him anymore. And, man, it seems like, a year later, he's becoming like a cult figure down in Oxford.
He is, and you know, I mean, I don't know how much truth there was to any of that, but I heard absolutely the same thing as you, and it's just interesting to me. I don't know if you've noticed, but all the people on Twitter, so many Ole Miss fans that I interact with or follow, who all changed their profile picture to that picture of Pete Golding, kind of with the and it's so funny because I'm in groups, Twitter groups, where, you know, the majority of them will be Pete Golding pictures. And I'm thinking, I have to stop and see, who am I talking to? Because it looks like every single one of them is Pete Golding. So needless to say, he's something of a cult hero right now.
Yeah, and also some of these accounts, I got to say, are just absolutely hilarious. I mean, I don't even know. But yeah, Ole Miss right now, everything feels like it's pushing up just roses, the signing class. I'm just kind of curious, is it hyperbole, or is this the best recruiting and signing class they've ever had?
You know, it's funny. I was talking about that with somebody yesterday, and, you know, you go back and you look at that 2013 class with Tunsil and Kimdichie and Treadwell. But I tell you what, I think this class has every bit, you know, the star power, but I think across the board, just when you throw in the transfer portal in there and what they've done in there, I mean, Ole Miss is getting...
And the people coming back.
Yes, and that was, you hit the nail on the head. That's the thing. I mean, you look at that offense and you think, if you get Jackson Dart and Quinshon Judkins back, which everything appears to indicate that that's the case, and, you know, you've got Trey Harris and you've got Jordan Watkins, and now you've added Juice Wells, the number one transfer portal wide receiver, and Deion Smith, as you mentioned, the number one JUCO wide receiver. And I was asked by somebody, what is their weakness going to be next year? Who are they losing this year that would hurt them for next year? And I just, you know, I think they've really done a good job retaining players and then bringing in ones. Frankly, I mean, like people have said, Lane and staff are going all in on that 12-team playoff next year.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that would, in this year, I'm still mad, you know, if they were in the 12-team playoff this year, and we can basically thank Florida State for that.
Yeah, yeah, I know, or we would have had
karma,
that.
Florida State.
Yes. So, and you know, I think as far as Ole Miss, now here's what's going to be the cherry on top is if Ole Miss actually does get Walter Nolan.
That's where I was going next.
Yeah.
So
then,
okay, I have a question. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Evie, but I have to like kind of iron this out. So we know that he's basically down to two schools, Oregon and Ole Miss, correct?
Right.
Now, is it true that he can't, like, if he didn't sign, like, yesterday, he can't sign for now a couple of weeks? Or, like, when is the timetable? No. Okay, thank you, because I was so confused about that.
Yeah, no, not at all. In fact, it's interesting, but transfer portal players do not sign. They don't even sign a letter of intent. So it's not like there's a window here or a window there. There are dead periods and quiet periods and such, but for a transfer portal player, they register for classes and attend class. There is no signing a letter of intent or anything. So basically, Walter Nolan has to be registered for class in the spring, and I want to say for Ole Miss, it's the very end of January. End of January might be the last day that you can register for classes, first day or so of February. So now I don't think it's going to go on that long, but it theoretically could go on that long.
Now, the one thing that makes me nervous that he's narrowed it down to Oregon and Ole Miss, and the collective, the Grove Collective, has done such a fabulous job. In fact, now I found out the other day, you know, I'm a Tito's man, but I hear y'all got y'all's own vodka.
Yes. I mean, that's pretty, and I think that there's some, you got to be careful. I'm not an expert on this, but in terms of how you can order that and ship it, because I think maybe some states you can't ship that, but the Grove Collective and Foundry Distilling entered a partnership, and they've got, Grove Collective vodka.
Yeah, it's actually had a bunch of Ole Miss fans send me that, and were having fun with me with Tito's yesterday, and they're like, "Come on, get them," and I was giggling, and I thought it was great. But I will let everybody know, in Tennessee, you can have that vodka shipped. I do know that for sure.
Okay, well, there you go. All your listeners can rest easy there. But I tell you, that's another thing. Lane Kiffin even mentioned that yesterday in his press conference, his signing day press conference, about the Grove Collective and the job that they've done. And, he mentioned again, and he talked about it before, but he said, that he kind of feels like that Ole Miss is the Green Bay Packers of college football, where the fans and the state kind of own our team. And he just, really thanked them and said, they've done such a great job and including supporting the team in the stands this season. This season, I think, was the highest attendance for a season in the history of the school. So that was cool. And he also talked about how it's just different now from when he got there, or even a year or so ago, when you walk into places to recruit, that there is just a different interest level around Ole Miss now. So that's really cool to see.
Now with Walter Nolan and looking at the Grove Collective, and then we look over at Oregon and we see Phil Knight and that Nike money.
Right.
I think Walter Nolan's positioned himself really good for a bidding war.
Oh, I think so. And I do think that there's Phil Knight money, but also, Ole Miss is pretty fortunate right now to have Realtree money. The Jordan family and Realtree have been very, very generous to Ole Miss, and I think have helped make a lot of things happen. I still look for Nolan to head to Oxford. I really do. I think there's a lot of optimism around Ole Miss world that he will end up being a Rebel.
Well, we haven't even talked. I mean, we get so excited about the transfer portal, about National Signing Day. We haven't even talked about the Peach Bowl.
No.
Everybody, I figure now that signing day's over, everybody's going to start really gearing towards the Peach Bowl. What's going on? They started practicing everything.
Yes, they've been practicing. They're, I think getting geared up for it. I think Ole Miss, I don't know if we had talked about it or not, but Spencer Sanders is academically not eligible for the Peach Bowl. So, but have no fear, Ole Miss fans, because you've probably got the most talented, deepest quarterback room in the country.
No kidding.
We've got Walker there, and we've got Austin Simmons. And I mean, again, it looks like, I don't even know what it would take for Jackson Dart not to finish a game. That kid is the toughest, one of the toughest kids I've seen. So, they're getting ready for that. And we've been having some interviews with some of the players this week, and it's been interesting because they definitely talk about the Peach Bowl. They're asked questions by the media about coming back next year. And we had an interview we put up this morning with Trey Harris, and man, they are looking forward to next year all coming back. Apparently, a whole lot of them got together. They picked each other's brains on coming back, and they all want to run it back in 2024 and, try and make that title game.
I always forget. I forgot about Austin Simmons, the youngster who came there and reclassified. I think he was supposed to be 2025 or something,
and
reclassified early. What is he just growing with this team, and what is his role over there?
Yes. It's funny. He's such a driven kid. We had a chance to talk with him, and he is, a lot of times you get a kid in and it's hard. It's your freshman year at college. That's not easy to adjust regardless if you're playing for a Division I SEC football team. And very, very organized, as you could imagine, because he graduated 2 years early.
Yeah, and he had a 5-something GPA, I remember.
Yeah.
He was like a little genius.
Yes, and so I had asked him, how are you managing everything your freshman year and football and learning the playbook? And he just, that's basically what he said, is that his time management skills were very, very good, and they had to be in order to, get through high school as quickly as he did. And so, yeah, I mean, he's a big, strong kid, and as we've talked about, baseball player too. I think it kind of changes things now that Spencer isn't going to be able to play. I think, so now everybody moves up a spot. So I would expect Walker to be out there getting work with the 1s and 2s, and Austin maybe a little bit, but also maybe running some scout team work there. So
yeah, you forget about that young fellow who I hear a lot of people say he's going to be one special person when he grows up. Because again, he was at 17 last year. I mean, 17 right now.
Yes, and and he's I think he was the tallest QB in the room. I mean, he's a 6'3", 200-pound, baby.
I know,
so,
it's good. It's wild.
Yeah, it really is. And it's funny. I mean, people hear that and they think, 17. But my husband, David, was the youngest quarterback in NCAA history, started at A&M at 17 and was an actual starter. And I look back at pictures of him, and he looked like a baby, then. And it's just really interesting to think that a kid that young could be out there.
It's pretty wild. Now, I haven't even said anything about the basketball program. They're in the top 25. They're undefeated. Chris Beard's tearing things up. Matthew Morrell had 10 steals the other night. Have you ever seen this much hype this early about Ole Miss basketball? It feels like a long time.
Yeah, no. I mean, it does feel like a long time, doesn't it? And, I mean, they beat Troy 74-53. So this was one of those games, we had those games early on, most of the games where even when they pulled ahead, they didn't stay focused and end the game strong. And they did. And I think Chris Beard he seemed really pleased after the game. I mean, gosh, Jamarian Sharp had 6 blocks in the first half. It got to the point where Troy looked elsewhere to kick back out for perimeter looks when Sharp was down low. So, but all of them, Jalen Murray, Alan Flanagan, I mean, just, and then much less Brakefield and Morrell. And that was actually Morrell's double-double. That was the first double-double in school history that included steals. So,
oh, my goodness.
I know. So, Brakefield had a career-high 27 points in that game. So, everything. There was a pretty good crowd even for it being a game that, school's out and, you're dealing with maybe not as much of an attendance there at the game. But, that was something else Chris Beard talked about, that he didn't think that he had been associated with a game in December that had, such a good crowd. So that was nice to see also. So everybody's rallying around that team and are pretty excited about it.
Yeah, and then you got 2 more games before you start SEC play, and all this X and all this fighting over Tennessee and Ole Miss. Y'all can take it to the hardwood.
Take it to the hardwood, January 6th at 5 o'clock. That's when it'll be. So definitely, boy, don't you know, that one's going to be fun. I might have to make my way to Knoxville for that one.
Well, then I might have to see you there in Knoxville because I could do something like that because I'm not going to make the Peach Bowl. So sad.
No, I was just going to say, are you coming to my party?
Oh,
well, that's
I'm
okay.
so
You'll be with
upset.
us in spirit, and we might have to see you then in Tennessee. We'll pivot to basketball.
All right, Evie, thank you. Have a very, very Merry Christmas. Thank you for your time, and just be blessed, dear.
You too. Hotty toddy.
Hotty toddy. Read her work at The Rebel Walk. Go to therebelwalk.com for it's your number one source for all things Ole Miss sports information. Follow her on Twitter at Ole Miss Evie, and follow also The Rebel Walk, and never miss a Thursday right here. Man, we are late for a break, but I did have to remind you, I can't make it to the Peach Bowl. But you know what? I'm going to the Grizzlies game tonight. I'm going to tell you a little secret. I'm going to look good. You know why? Because I shop at Frontier Western Store, brother. 5880 Goodman Road down in Olive Branch. If you want to style and profile, they got you styling and profiling. They got your girl styling and profiling. They got your kids looking cool. telling you, they got a largest boot showroom on planet Earth. Western boots, work boots, dress boots. If it's a boot, they got it. Plus, they got tons of shoes. They can dress you from head to toe. They got hats, shirts, jeans, skirts, boots, all at Frontier Western Store. The holidays are here. Christmas is around the corner. It's on Monday, man. If you haven't got your shopping done, get in the car, go to 5080 Goodman Road right now down in Olive Branch. Don't forget, you can also shop online at frontierwesternstore.com. Hardinwood's on the other side. During Hardinwood, I will be giving a PSA. Hopefully that it will help many, many people in this city stay STD free. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
We all appreciate luxury. We love the newest technology. We want something that sparkles and looks great. Well, I've got it all in one place. It's called Genesis of Olive Branch, right at the corner of Highway 78. That's Lamar. And the first exit in Mississippi, that's Craft Road. Turn left and you will see Genesis of Olive Branch. And right now, you can get the 2024 Genesis GV70 starting at $49,480 with special financing as low as 3.49% on select models. How about the 2024 Genesis GV80? A little bit bigger, starting at $55,995, financing as low as 5.49% with a $2,000 rebate when trading a luxury brand. Call them. They'll even bring you a Genesis at your work or your home for a test drive. They're convinced that when you drive a Genesis, you're going to want one. Call 662-890-6684. Ask for Vinny. Genesis of Olive Branch.
Simple, smooth, and every sip as easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does with your favorite mixer. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand-bottled, taste-tested, sent to a few friends, then taste-tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff. Just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
All I want for holidays this year is some NBA action. This week, new customers can score $150 instantly in bonus bets just for betting $5. It's an instant dub just for you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, very quick. Doesn't take long. Use the code HERD, H-E-R-D. New customers get $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on basketball. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook, code HERD. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/basketball for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources.
Bartlett Small Engine has been serving quality power equipment since 1970. They have a full line of power equipment, parts, and services for most makes and models. Bartlett Small Engines has the best brands in the power tool industry, and they're all American made. Bartlett Small Engine is your can-do store. 6780 Summer Avenue. Call 901-386-9779.
Bartlett Small Engine has free pickup and delivery both at your home and curbside for lawnmowers, blowers, edgers, and any small engine. Call 901-386-9779.
Get the home field advantage every time with Fairfield by Marriott, the official hotel of the NCAA. Whether you're a student athlete working towards your championship dreams or your team's biggest fan, Fairfield by Marriott has everything you need to get ready for game day, from comfortable guest rooms to a complimentary hot breakfast. Visit fairfield.marriott.com to book your next game day stay. Fairfield by Marriott, part of the Marriott Bonvoy portfolio of hotels, an official hotel of the NCAA.
It's our season of giving back at Gossett Kia on the Pike, and we've got the perfect holiday gift for you. Hit the road with 41 MPG Highway 2023 Kia Forte LXS, $239 a month, $27.99 due at signing. Get road-ready SUVs, Seat 7 2023 Kia Sorento LX, $319 a month, $34.99 due at signing. And 8-passenger seating in your new 2024 Kia Telluride LX, $459 a month, $34.99 due at signing, all 36-month lease. Plus, you'll get peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Ask for Bobby J. He's ready to put you in a new Kia today. Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition fee, Forte RE 699,094, MSRP 21,385, Sorrento PG 242,710, MSRP 33,010, Telluride RG 462, 2822, MSRP 38,705, includes all rebates and incentives, must finance through Hyundai, excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 1/2/2024, dealer stock only.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio, hanging out with Brian Dacus. Big thanks to Evie Van Pelt and Isaac Simpson, who joined us earlier in the program. We talked Tigers and Grizzlies, oh my, with Isaac. John Morant returns tonight as they play the Indiana Pacers right here in Memphis at FedEx Forum. 7 o'clock, the tip. Fired up about that one. Plus, we have Thursday Night Football. We have the Saints at the Rams. We're going to talk about that on the other side. We also have a little college football. We got, Syracuse playing Central Florida. So, a little football, a little basketball, a lot of fun. But we're about to get a Hardwood where I'm going to give y'all a PSA and help y'all out. But I did want to tell y'all, tomorrow I'm going to have some fun. My man Mark over at Dyers, his son, he says he's like an expert gambler. He doesn't gamble, but he picks games, for fun with his dad. And they kind of bet, Dad, if I do this, you got to bring me home banana pudding, or you got to bring me home a Dyer's burger, or some tamales, or this or that. By the way, you can get all this food at Dyer's Cafe out in Collierville's historic town square, right there at 101 North Center Street. If you go there on Saturday to see Santa Claus, hop on into Dyer's, get some little cheeseburgers and chips and all kinds of fries and onion rings and all kinds of goodness. But tomorrow we're going to pick games. I'm going to have him pick 3 games over the weekend. I'm going to have a caller call in tomorrow, pick 3 games. If you have a better record against the spread, against Mark's son at Dyer's, you're going to be winning burgers. So we're gambling for Dyer's burgers tomorrow, okay?
A lot of pressure on a kid.
Dude, I'm putting – hey, man, let me just tell you something. We got to get these kids out here to toughen up and learn how to make some money in this world.
Yes, that's a good point.
You can't live with your mom and daddy for your whole life.
It's fair.
Please, child, please. No, but we are about to do a little bit of them. Let's go to Hardwood. I got some serious PSAs.
This is Access Hardwood.
This segment is pretty disgusting, and I will say it's going to be very fluid. Now, we are going to talk about Alabama football. Am I going to tell you that Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide are going to go in there and roll Michigan? No, I'm not talking about the game. I'm not talking about that. Am I going to talk about Alabama basketball last night?
Roll Tide.
They got smoked in that second half against Arizona. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the nastiest person in the state of Alabama.
Debatable, John. There's a lot of nasty people in Alabama.
I don't know. This Elijah Pritchett, he's way up there. He's a redshirt freshman offensive lineman. He was arrested and good on Wednesday evening. This was last night. Why was he arrested?
It's a good question, John. Why was he arrested?
Because he was arrested and charged with knowingly transmitting a sexually transmitted disease. They say that
you're right, John. That was nasty.
That is nasty. They say this man knows he's got something. He's got a little STD problem, but knowingly, and then he just goes out there and doesn't even tell this girl, hey, no. He just goes and gives it to him.
It's crazy.
That, by the way, is disgusting. But ladies, I'm here to help you out. And men, I'm here to help you out. Because you know what? Men might be nasty, but sometimes so can you girls. I mean, he did get it from somewhere. Let's not forget, it takes 2 to tango. So, both can be nasty. But you don't have to be nasty. Do you know that you can go get an STD test for free? Actually, did you know that you can get paid to get a free STD test? You just go donate blood. Because before they take your blood, they're going to do a little prick. And they're going to take a little blood and put it in this little tube, and they're going to spin that junt. And they're going to come back and let you know in just a few minutes, oh, you nasty. You can't get blood. Or, nah, you ain't nasty. So if you thinking about hooking up with somebody, act like you're going out there to like do some good in the world and go donate some blood. You could also get $70 a piece.
Or have the person you're going to meet go get blood.
Like, before I see you, I need to see if you can get blood. They can't get blood.
Tell them giving blood is really important to you.
But that's a free STD test.
Public service that you really
You're welcome.
love.
Go get tested. And dude, don't be knowingly do that. And the other thing is what's just driving me crazy, because I've been reading through it, is like, what has he got? Like, what is he out there giving?
Well, I noticed when you were saying you almost self-diagnosed him, because you said he's got the...
And then I was going to say, here's what I'm thinking. It's probably not the clap, like gonorrhea or syphilis, because one, all you got to do is take penicillin to get rid of that. So if he knowingly had that, was he not taking his medication because he likes to tear the back off a toilet seat because it hurts so bad? I don't think so. So I'm going to say that it's not one of those two. I'm thinking that maybe he's got the herp, because that's the gift that keeps on giving, and he's not telling somebody. Or it could be even worse. What if he's got the HIV? I mean, damn. If he's got the HIV, I mean, I guess, I don't know, man, how this all works. I don't know. I just really need somebody out there to do a little sleuthing. Reckless speculation I would say herp. The herp. What do you think?
John, I don't know enough about STDs to even fathom, I guess.
Well, son, let me just tell you something. You better learn a lot about them, because you're living in the city with the most STDs per capita in the country. Okay?
I think I'll be all right.
I hope so. You can always be safe if you practice what? Safe sex. You were going to say abstinence, weren't you?
I was going to say prostitution.
That's a good point. Because I'm sure that they go and give blood. They want to know. Now, I was talking about like fluids and how important they are and how dangerous they can be. There's another one that is, it's kind of messed up. So, you know, a lot of people out there have especially over in the West, have back issues, have arthritis. Their joints and their knees and their backs and their hips are always hurting. Little research, did you know why? I found out why this happens to all of us over here in the West. Because we're always sitting down. Our whole society is designed for us to sit our butts down.
We're both doing it right now, John.
I'm sitting right now talking to them in the microphone.
That's right, you are.
But guess what? Our bodies are designed just to be sitting all day. And I'm not talking about you need to get up and just go do a little exercise, go do some yoga, some Pilates, hit the gym, run. No. You need to squat. And I'm talking about like squat. I showed you during the break.
You were squatting. I didn't know why you were squatting.
And I've been squatting lately because, my knees or the hips kind of bother me. So I read this article. A doctor told me to check this out, read up on it. And I've been squatting a little bit. And the reason you do it, by the way, number one, is your body depends on this fluid, okay?
Okay.
And I had it. Here it is. It's called synovial fluid. It's like an oil for your car, but it provides nutrients for the cartilage. And it doesn't magically appear. Your body doesn't just produce it. It has to be produced by taking your hips and your knees past 90 degrees and putting pressure. Like, that's what makes it come out, and it puts it in your body. So when you squat, it releases this fluid into your hips, into your knees, into your back, into your joints. And then all of a sudden, you ain't sounding like the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz.
Uh-huh.
You actually sound like you're young. So you can reverse aging, not necessarily aging, but you won't sound like you're crinking and cracking all over the place when you walk if you just will pop a squat.
Pop a squat.
So when you're watching the game, I was watching the Alabama game, Arizona,
And
praying
for
no. And I was going to say, as long as they don't score 6 points in a minute, because that was like the last I could give up 30 points over the final 5 minutes. By the way, you do the math, that's 6 points a minute. So I popped a squat and said, once they get over 6 points in a minute, I'm going to get up. After about 1 minute, I got up. And then when it went back down, I got in. And then over the final 3 minutes, I just stayed in the squatting position. And I slept like a baby. So do me a favor. Get a free STD. Where? At the blood bank. Just go to the blood bank.
That's right.
They also will pay you for your blood sometimes. Like at least if you go to certain places. Free STDs. And don't knowingly give somebody an STD because you could get arrested just like an Alabama offensive lineman did yesterday.
You're giving a lot of helpful advice.
He found out.
Sure did.
Also, pop a squat. Another thing is don't use a basketball as a weapon, as we have now found out because of one Ja Morant. One little issue with that, if you have been wondering where the ruling is, the Tennessee judge, of course, Carol Chumney, she said that right now she needs more time due to the lack of cause of precedent surrounding this lawsuit. I know everybody's hoping for the big decision and the finality or something like that, but these are important legal issues, and she is going to take her time to get to reach this conclusion. So, a little Ja Morant update, a little free STD info, and also
giving all the information.
Make sure you pop a squat.
That's right.
All right?
Pop that squat.
Now, do me a favor. Don't touch the dial, because on the other side, you know what we're doing, don't you? We're going to go and give you some bets. But I also want to remind you, if you do need to stop anywhere, just pull it on in the liquor store and go in there and grab you a little bit of Tito's. It's the best spirit around when you're hanging out with your family, your friends, and your loved one, and you want a little festive atmosphere. Share the best spirit around with the people you love this holidays, and that's Tito's Handmade Vodka. We're back in 2 Shake Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows. Stay up to date with station events and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at TriumphAutoSales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
It's a holiday experience like no other. The Light Garden in Olive Branch. It's a walk through an entertainment extravaganza with hundreds of giant 3D Christmas light displays, photos with Santa, food and drinks, and special event nights, including fireworks on New Year's Eve. Bring the family out nightly from now through December 31st at Olive Branch City Park. Go to lightgarden.online for details and to buy tickets, and stay tuned to Sports 56 and 98.5 FM for chances to win tickets to go see the Light Garden in Olive Branch.
Uncorn flavor, Corky's barbecue. We're cooking it up, down home way. Hickory smoke flavor like the good old days. A whole lot of good eating is waiting for you. Our Memphis barbecue tradition, you'll love what we do. Uncorn flavor, Corky's barbecue.
Hi, Jimmy Stovall here with Corky's Barbecue. I am honored that so many Memphians trust Corky's to serve our hickory smoked turkeys and spiral sliced honey glazed hams to their families for Thanksgiving and Christmas. This year, let us make it even easier with our holiday feast. Ham or turkey and gravy, and your choice of 2 of our southern sides. Cornbread dressing, sweet potato casserole, mac and cheese, or baked potato casserole. Reserve yours today at corkysbbq.com before we sell out.
Encore flavor, Corky's barbecue.
Make your next grill your last with the Big Green Egg at East Memphis Ace. Smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill, all with a lifetime warranty. Ready to cook in only 15 minutes with cook temperatures below 200, above 700, and anywhere in between. Change your at-home cooking experience for life with our unmatched, authentic wood-fired grill flavor that has our customers raving. Get your Big Green Egg and all our accessories at East Memphis Ace on the corner of South White Station and Quince Road.
You ready to end the year with some money in your pocket? We got it covered at Gossett Mitsubishi's Mitsubishi Motors year-end sales event. Get to the Pike for the award-winning 2023 Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV. 420 total range MPGE, $299 a month. Get ready for your road trip in the 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. Buy for $27,000 or just $399 a month. And cool has never been cooler than in a 2024 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. We Gossett at $30,700 or $499 a month. And no worries with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So get to Gossett Mitsubishi today at 1870 Covington Pike. Gift wrapping available. You want it, we Gossett. Shop online anytime at MemphisMitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
PHEV PZO 62303 MSRP 44,355 Sport RU 001136 MSRP 28,000 Eclipse RZO 12051 MSRP 31,700 includes all rebates and incentives PF 695 excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
But you gotta be willing to take the hit and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio, hanging out with Bryant Dacus. It's a thirsty Thursday, always brought to you by the wonderful people, Tito's. That's right, Tito's handmade vodka. When you think spirits, I hope you think the best, and that's Tito's handmade vodka. Enjoy it with some loved ones over the holidays. Now, I want to help you get a little cash. Bet your credit card's taken a beating the last month. Bet it has. How about yours, Dacus?
Yes, it has been buying a lot of presents.
How's your girlfriend? Did you get her some solid stuff?
I did. I think so, at least.
Think so? Lululemon?
I did, actually.
Did you get some candles? You know girls like candles.
No, I didn't get her any candles.
Bro, you got to go get some of them candles, man.
I got her a water bottle. She likes water bottles. She's really into water bottles right now.
All right.
And a planner. That's about it.
What's a planner?
Like, you know, you can, keeps you organized.
Like a daily planner? Y'all kids still use those things?
Yeah. Well, she does, at least.
Well, I was going to say, I love this. I used to use them. I haven't seen one of those in so long. Nice. Well, sounds like some interesting stuff. Well, I'm going to try to put some money in your pocket. And we got an NFL game tonight. And, of course, it's the Saints and the Rams. And I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes when it looks easy, it's just easy. And I feel like that's what we're getting tonight. The Saints, I mean, people are like, Chris Olave may return tonight. Well, dude, Derek Carr's still their quarterback, isn't he?
That's right.
He's terrible. Tell me the big games that Derek Carr wins. Like the Raiders got off of him and went with Jimmy G, the model, not the football player. They had to turn to Aiden O'Connell. Derek Carr, what has he really done in the Saints with the Saints organization? I think he's been somewhat kind of embarrassing, to be honest with you. I think this like Rams team, if you've noticed lately what they've done, have you seen their last 5 games?
The Rams? Mm-hmm. I can't remember them off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
They have one loss in overtime to the Baltimore Ravens. Okay?
Wow. Okay.
They have been kicking people's teeth in. They smoked Washington, Cleveland, Arizona, Seattle. Only loss in Baltimore where they put up 31 points. This team's scoring in their last 4 games, 37, 36, 31, and 28. The Saints, on the other hand, they beat the 2 worst teams. They're on a 2-game win streak. Well, guess what? Whoop-de-damn-do when you beat Tommy DeVito's New York Giants last week. And before that, Bryce Young's pathetic Carolina Panthers.
Not only did they beat Tommy DeVito when everyone had their love fest for Tommy DeVito, they covered. How about that?
Well, you know, I agree. Teams that cover, you know, it's important. But this Saints team who's fighting for its playoff lives, everybody keeps telling me, oh, man, I mean, You have to understand, man, this NFC South is wide open. The Saints can win this thing. Well, I'm looking at myself. I'm thinking the Bucs are going to win this. Baker Mayfield's playing better. Derek Carr's no good. And I think Matt Stafford goes out there with Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp and goes ham. They put up at least 30 tonight on New Orleans. New Orleans can't do that. They just don't score like that. I totally 100% believe in the Rams tonight. I'm laying the 4 points. I hope you're riding with me because I'm trying to make sure that Santa doesn't hurt you as bad as it can happen. And I gave you Duke yesterday.
On Santa, and I gave you the Arizona
and
under.
It gave you the under. By the way, did I tell you about this a-hole who sent me a text yesterday and was telling me about the Jackrabbits of San Diego State?
Oh, I love the Jackrabbits.
Well, they didn't cover yesterday, and they lost the game.
They're back at it today.
I would have gone undefeated yesterday if I didn't have to play that stupid game, but for some reason I listened to this idiot. So if you don't want to listen to an idiot, well, maybe you shouldn't listen to me. But I'm taking the Rams tonight, minus the 4. I hope everybody has a wonderful Thursday. We'll be back here tomorrow. For Bryant Dacus, I'm John Harden. Get out there, make the world a better place. We'll see you on the flip side. Peace.
Welcome to the Rendezvous.
This is John Vergas. When my dad started the Rendezvous in 1948, I don't think anyone could have imagined we'd still be serving shoulder, cheese plates, and our world-famous dry rub ribs 75 years later. But we are still here in the basement, in an alley in downtown Memphis. We sincerely thank you for making the Rendezvous what it is today. Charlie Vergas Rendezvous. Be sure to schedule your delivery for the next game at hogsfly.com or come visit us in the alley.
All 650 acquisition fees. Sportage R723 5498 MSRP 28940. Sorrento PG 4244710 MSRP 33010. Telluride RG 462822 MSRP 38705. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 1/2/2024 with approved credit dealer stock only.
Hey, my man Jeff Allen, what's going on for the holidays over at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah?
It's the season of giving back at Gossett Kia on